Welcome to Recapping Movie Explained. The story of the movie is split into three timelines. Blue represents the current, red depicts brief memories that concern Bruce Wayne, green depicts distant flashbacks occurring 3 years previously, when Bruce Wayne was 8 years old. Katie Holmes and Christian Bale respectively portray Rachel Dawes in the present and recent flashbacks. Gus Lewis and Emma Lockhart portray Bruce Wayne and Rachel Dawes, respectively, in distant flashback scenes. A vast group of bats fly across the frame from left to right. They take the form of Batman's logo when backlit by a reddish sky. Bruce Wayne and Rachel Dawes are having fun in the Wayne Manor garden in a distant flashback. Bruce breaks his arm as he falls and gets stuck in a well. Bruce awakens from his nightmare in a Chinese prison at this time. It soon becomes clear that other prisoners frequently assault Bruce since they fight with him 6-1 at breakfast. Bruce is punished by the prison guards with solitary imprisonment after beating the majority of them. Bruce gets approached by Henry Deckard while he is alone Liam Neeson. By requesting a meeting with Bruce from the prison and asserting that he is familiar with Bruce, Deckard demonstrates a significant degree of knowledge and authority. Bruce is then given the opportunity to join the League of Shadows, a group of vigilantes and killers, by Deckard. As promised, Bruce is let go, and he completes his assignment. Bruce arrives at the League of Shadows office's front entrance after taking the floor to the mountain summit. He meets Rizalgal Ken Watanabe, the League's leader, inside, where he also runs into Henry Deckard once more. Bruce submits the blue flower, passing the required membership exam. Bruce is then unexpectedly attacked by Deckard, who tells him that death does not wait for you to be ready. Bruce tries to fight back, but he is quickly defeated and goes down. James Gordon, an officer at the police station, keeps an eye on Bruce that evening. Gary Oldman, Police Commissioner Gillian B. Loeb, Colin McFarlane enters at this point to advise Bruce that Chill has been apprehended. Alfred is assigned to look after Bruce. Bruce is informed by Wayne Enterprises CEO William Earl Rutger following the funeral that the business would be taken care of until Bruce is an adult. When Bruce admits that he asked to leave the opera early and that's why his parents died, Alfred tries to comfort him. Present, Deckard queries Bruce on his continued guilt over his parents' passing. Bruce replies that he is too furious to feel bad. He starts his instruction with the League of Shadows. He has received training in ninjutsu, stealth, theatrical fighting, and deceit. Bruce is trained to engage 600 as well as to combat 6 opponents. In order to combat all sorts of criminality, Deckard insists that there should be no compassion or sympathy. Deckard adds that his wife was murdered and that after getting his retribution, he joined the League. Bruce admits that he is unable to exact his retribution. In a recent flashback, Bruce, who attended Princeton University, returns at Wayne Manor for Joe Chill's parole hearing 14 years after his parents were murdered. Still in charge of the property, Alfred shows worry about Bruce. Bruce is accompanied to the hearing by Rachel, who is now an assistant district attorney. Unbeknownst to her, Bruce is hiding a handgun that he intends to use to shoot Chill if he is allowed to go free. Chill apologizes for killing Bruce's parents during the hearing and is granted parole in exchange for testifying against his cellmate, gang leader Carmen Falcone Tom Wilkinson. Chill is shot by a female assassin who is pretending to be a reporter before Bruce can take action. Bruce sees Chill bleed to death and the assassin being taken into custody. After the event, while Rachel is driving away, she gives Bruce a speech on the distinction between justice and vengeance and explains how Falcone's illicit drug empire continues to harm Gotham City. When he admits that he had intended to shoot Chill, Rachel smacks him hard. His father would be ashamed of him, she assures him. Despite Bruce's pleas for more sleep, Alfred wakes him up at 3 in the afternoon and worries about the bumps and bruises he sustained the night before. He shows Bruce a news report about his adventure from the previous evening and tells him that in order to avoid suspicion, he must live the same life he would normally lead in public, including driving fancy sports cars, dating movie stars, and purchasing items that are not for sale. Bruce is also told that he needs to use playing polo as a reason for his current bruises, which he refuses to do. Meanwhile, Earl learns that a microwave emitter, a Wayne Tech Enterprise weapon, has been taken from one of their cargo ships, and that the crew of that ship appears to have been slaughtered. The emitter is a different type of military weapon that vaporizes an enemy's water supply using concentrated microwaves. When Batman returns to the Narrows, he discovers a residence filled with cute bunny toys that have been drugged. Batman hides as Dr. Crane, and two of his henchmen enter. The thugs spray gasoline around the apartment on Dr. Crane's orders. Batman emerges from hiding to beat the two criminals. Dr. Crane appears wearing his burlap mask and uses gas cylinders concealed in his shirt cuffs to gas him with the same gas he used on Falcone. Batman stumbles helplessly to the ground as he scrambles around, seeing bats and dreaming that his parents are dead. Dr. Crane mocks him by dousing him with gasoline. Then, after lighting a cigarette lighter, he throws it at Batman's chest, setting off a fire that later consumes his suit. Batman jumps out of the window and lands with a thump on the rain-soaked streets of the Narrows. To the surprise of onlookers, he rolls around desperately trying to put out the flames before stumbling around while attempting to get his grappling gun. He discharges the weapon aloft before being lifted to a nearby rooftop. He then takes his communicator and asks Alfred to assist him. When Alfred shows there, he puts Batman in the backseat and transports him to the manor. Bruce yells, "Take poison, blood, blood poison," as he rides under the effects of the aerosol Crane sprayed him with, before passing out. Rachel approaches Bruce as he is nailing planks over the garden's ancient well at Wayne Manor. He expresses regret for not revealing his identity to her earlier. She regrets smacking him the day Jill died, and the awful things she spoke to him before to his disappearance. Bruce responds by stating that she was correct, and that he was nothing more than a coward with a gun. He expresses gratitude to her. She claims that when she learned he was returning, she started to feel hopeful. She approaches him and gives him a kiss. She continues by saying how she later learned about his mask, his real face. She says that the boy she once loved has been gone for a very long time, and that his actual face is the Batman cowl. But perhaps when Batman is no longer required, they will be able to be together. Steve nods. He is informed by Rachel that she was mistaken, and that Bruce's father would be equally as proud of him as she is. Bruce is questioned by Rachel about what he plans to do as Alfred is moving through the manor's debris. Bruce responds that he'll recreate it exactly as it was. As she turns to go, Alfred ponders whether now is a suitable moment to strengthen the coroner's foundation. Bruce concurs.